Is anybody going to softball us questions? Or, I mean, this isn't really a natural conversation for Josh and I. Can you take up less space? I feel very crowded over here. Thank you.
Like, how far away can you guys be?
Hi everyone, welcome to the OHSU Foundation. I'm Diane, come on in.
Thank you.
You bet. So I'll give you a tour. They were insightful from the very beginning on the different areas that we needed to put our initial focus on, so that made the project much more smooth. There was a discussion early on where we were trying to decide whether or not we needed a project manager or not. The initial conversations with Blake of the importance of project managing really helped solidify, as we brought all the different project managers together, what we were looking for. I think CRESA really hit on that and helped the process flow seamlessly with the time management, the dates of completion, having the different vendors flow in and out of the project, the things that we needed to discuss that were hot topics, and take control of those. Josh's experience of knowing as many people as he does had truly impressed us. He knows a guy for almost everything. Having a project manager who has so many different resources was a wonderful benefit for us.
Awesome tour. Thank you guys for setting it up with Diane. That was really good. Having a chance to meet Jill and have you guys sit down with her, like that was cool.
I want you to get my best side.
Okay.
If you don't, you're fired. Well, I'm here to thank our CRESA partners. For the 30 years prior to this space, we were in a building that was on 3 floors. So we're really thrilled to be here all together and looking forward to our full hybrid working model where we may not have everybody in the office all at once, but as many as we can on sort of a staggered basis. So the colors are wonderful. It's going to ignite the power of philanthropy, which is what we do here.
You guys have been working on the project for how long?
For about a year at this point.
Just listening to Diane sort of walk us through, I mean, she was telling me on the side too, like the amount of moves, you know, on the old space, the relocations from the 3rd floor to the 2nd floor, and then finding warehouse space in the interim.
Well, from the beginning, it was move them out of the 3 floors into this space. And a little late in the game, it was determined that financially it made sense. And it was feasible after we figured it out within about a week to get them out of the 3rd floor of that space and save them, you know, 20 G's in rent.
Yeah, we saved $30,000 in rent by moving out of floors 2 and 3 early.
Right. The surrender piece, you know, we take that through completion. I attended the walkthroughs afterward with the landlord and with Diane, and the landlord was very happy. We moved a printer that had been sitting in the same spot for probably 20 years and realized there were a couple floor tiles missing. And at that point, it's like, what do? Do we immediately have them replaced? We talked to the landlord. We said, hey, here's the situation in this room. Do you want us to put these tiles in and then we can clean and seal the floor properly? It ended up being that they were going to replace it anyway. That landlord was great to work with, and they said, you know what, don't worry about it, we can move on.
So many times you don't think about the surrendering. You're just thinking about getting out and going into the new space and making sure the new space is great and beautiful. You don't think about the restoration obligation that you might be responsible for and required in the lease.
I would always just push our clients to get us engaged as soon as possible. We're going to set the budget and the schedule up, and we're going to understand all the elements to bring it to fruition. Help you maximize the amount of space, get you the most efficient space possible, save you money up front on your overall leased space, save you money on construction, and save you money on the move. And then ultimately get your deposit back from the space you're in now.
The plumbing issue with changing out that drinking fountain, it was an astronomical price. And, you know, Josh immediately said, excuse me? No. Let me bring in my guy. And you saved him thousands of dollars.
Yeah, I saved $5,000 on a drinking fountain.
Yeah.
Just simply by understanding the steps involved in a project.
Right.
And
it really is a disservice to our clients when they don't let us go through they don't engage us early enough for us to go through the process of vetting the pricing that we are getting from the different vendors and contractors.
Bringing in somebody that understands all the pieces and can go through the steps with you. Maybe you don't have a project there, or maybe you do, but I would engage a project manager immediately upon identifying some pinch point that you want to solve.
We do what our clients need, and I think they realize this at different points. Maybe a smaller client thinks that they can handle a relocation, and they just have the one location to relocate. But a lot of times there are so many pieces involved in a project and moving that they don't realize until they're already waist deep that they actually need help. Even during site selection, we can help identify deficiencies in the building. Josh is an HVAC and IT pro, so any small deficiency, he's going to point it out, and we're going to make sure that before that client signs a lease, it's been accommodated for, or we at least know what the plan is. We at least know who's going to pay to make sure that this space works.
Most people, when they sign a 5-year or a 10-year lease on a space, they've spent less than an hour in that space and haven't had anybody to do the due diligence and really get down to the nuts and bolts of how it functions with mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. And those are the building blocks for any project or any future use.
If there's some programming and space strategizing that needs to happen, our Denver team will typically start that process. They bring us into the fold. We fully understand. We take on ownership of what they've determined, whether it's growth or right sizing, what have you. We take it from there through completion and close out and anything afterward that needs to happen. That includes budgeting, scheduling, hiring vendors, vetting vendors, negotiating contracts, managing in a proactive way to identify any potential issues that might come up. That's probably one of the biggest value adds that we have, is we have seen enough issues come up where we can anticipate this might be an issue, let's address it first, because surprises are expensive.
Regardless of whether we're planning the space or another architect group is planning the space or whatever the case might be, or even maybe at an infancy of a project, they bring in a PM and we help them do that team selection.
Essentially what we're doing is gathering professionals and managing them and managing those contracts so that we're getting exactly what our clients need in the most cost-effective way without a lot of extraneous work or extraneous cost.
Yeah.
Sometimes our role is supplemental to, say, an architect. You know, if we need additional engineering on a project and that architect doesn't provide that service in-house, we can go out and find, say, a structural engineer or whatever is needed to help get that project up and going.
Diane brought up a good example on our tour here at OHSU Foundation. They wanted to reuse all of their chairs, but they wanted to have those cleaned. And so we went out and got 3 proposals from 3 qualified vendors to have all of their task chairs cleaned and sanitized. You know, they had a number of filing cabinets that they would ideally met their need, but didn't fit with the new color layout for the new office. And we were able to find a specific vendor that did an amazing job and made them look just like brand new.
I just want to say thank you so much to the OHSU Foundation, one, for selecting us for the opportunity to provide our services and partner with you guys for the last 12 months. It's just been an incredible opportunity to do that and see what great work you guys are doing in the city of Portland. And having us as a partner on your construction project. Diane was an awesome tour guide for us today, walking us through all the space, having the opportunity to see Jill, the interim president, and sort of share what the mission of OHSU Foundation is about and what all the great stuff that you guys are doing. Thank you so much for spending, really an hour and a half, almost 2 hours together, really opening up the space to us. Anybody out there that needs any project management services, construction project management, any sort of thing, whether you need a file cabinet power coded or whether you need something that's completely ground up or a full renovation of space, we handle everything soup to nuts from start to finish. Would love to have you check us out on our YouTube channel and subscribe. Leave us a comment, let us know any sort of things that you guys might need. We're here to serve. So not just on project management, but as the more things that we put out there on the channel too, would love to hear from you.